On this whiteboard, I believe that we generally have the solution to 90% of diseases that are exposed to us on the planet. Essentially, what I want to have a look at is basically what is health and how can we affect it, how do we measure it, and what does it look like. So essentially what you can see is obviously we've got a line. We've got one end of the line is health, and at one other end of the line is disease. And then what we've basically got is this continuum through here, where we've got something what we call the 3 T's that will essentially affect how our health starts to occur. So the first question we've obviously got to ask ourselves is, what is health? Now, the World Health Organization have got a definition for health, and they describe it as this: health is the complete physical, mental, and social well-being, and not merely the absence of disease. So I'm going to say that one more time. Health is complete physical, mental, and social well-being, and not merely the absence of disease. Which essentially basically means, is if you digest that and break it down, is that health is a spectrum and not an on-off switch. So essentially, in order to be considered healthy, we would need to be completely healthy in all 3 of those areas. And I think it's safe to say that 90% of the time, people are not 100% healthy in every single one of those areas. So the next question is how do we actually affect the way that our health basically works? So I've described this before. So the 3 T's basically cover something called physical trauma, T, number 1. Emotional trauma or thoughts changes, second T. And then the final one is chemical trauma or toxicity, third T. Now, all 3 of those are basically going to have an effect. So if we increase the 3 T's, we're going to head towards disease. And if we decrease our 3 T's, we're going to head towards health. Now, there are a multitude of ways of doing this. The simplest way is obviously to follow your chiropractor's advice, or your physiotherapist's advice, or your massage. Essentially, what we want is advice from someone that understands the physiology, neurology, and chemistry, as well as the biomechanics of our body. We want someone that understands our nutrition. We want someone that understands our psychology. And the reason we want someone to understand all those areas and be diverse is that if we only ever improve in one area, we're not ever going to completely resolve our health. And if we can't completely work on all 3 of these areas, we'll never be truly healthy. And essentially what that can start to do is that it can start to have an impact. So what we know is psychological health can start to have an impact on our physical health. And let me just give you an example. Fibromyalgia or phantom limb, both of which cannot find any physical changes on the body. However, they still have physical changes or feelings and sensations in their body. So we know that if we can actually improve these 3 areas, we can start to see improvements. Now, if you want any extra additional advice on those 3 areas, what I suggest you do is either look at some of our other videos, comment below, or ask us some questions.